Hey there, welcome to Mikey Conquers the Kitchen. I'm Mikey, and for today's recipe, I'm going to show you how to make a fresh, amazing guacamole with no special tools, just a knife, fork, and spoon, couple ingredients, and salt, and it's going to be one of the best guacamoles you've ever had. I guarantee it. The star of the show is the avocado. We've got a jalapeno pepper here. You can also use a serrano if you like it a little more spicy. Lime, tomato, onion. You can use any onion you have. I'm using a red onion. Classically, they use white onions. And we also got some cilantro here. We're not going to waste any time. This is a quick recipe. We're going to cut our avocados. Take your knife, put it in the middle. There's a big fat seed in the middle. Once you hit that seed, just roll the avocado. Oop, that seed came out real easy. I'm going to go through all of them. You're going to use the avocado more than your knife. Just kind of roll it around so you get back to your starting point. This one didn't come out as easily as the first one. So when that happens, there's that big seed in the middle. Take your knife, tap it in there, give it a twist, take your thumb, it'll pop right off. Keep going. Number 3. Roll, roll. These ones are popping right out. These avocados there's a couple little brown spouts in there. We might take them out. Number 4. This seed stuck in there. Do that same trick. Take your knife, just leave it a little tap in there. Give it a little tap and a little twist. Thumb pops it off. Oop. Now that we've got these, we're going to take our knife, and just to make it a little easier, we're going to... Sorry, I wasn't looking at the camera for a long time, so you guys could see my wonderful smile. We're going to take these, we're going to cut little lines down. We would do this on the cutting board. I'm holding this way so you guys can see. Just cut lines this way and lines this way. This will help us out later. I'm going to do it to all those real quick. It doesn't have to be super precise because we're going to mash all of this up. We got some brown spots in there. We're just going to cut that part out. We don't want those guys in there. Lines, lines, lines that way. Lines, lines, lines that way. When we scoop these out, it's going to come out cubed pretty much, which will help us. We're going to, like I said, we're going to smash this all up. So it's going to save us a little time, a little effort. Cut, 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 cut. If you guys don't know this trick, I don't know if I said this already, but I have a video specifically on how to do this. If you're not familiar, first time you're doing this. So the trick here is we're going to take our little bowl here. You take those, take your spoon, the spoon fits right under the skin. It's going to scrape alongside, everything comes out. You've got nothing left in there. Do this real quick, clear the rest of them. We're doing 4 avocados, and we're going to figure it out as we go with the rest of the stuff. A lot of guacamole is your preference and like how you like it. So once we get this avocado in here, we'll move on to the rest of the stuff. Avocado is like a apple when it comes to, it'll turn brown if it's sitting too long. So what we do to make that stop happening is we put lime in it. You kind of There was a couple little brown spots in here, and so I was kind of missing those. If you guys are looking and being like, he missed that spot, I missed it on purpose. So once we got in there, we want to really go right in with the lime pretty soon, so there's absolutely no chance of it turning brown. Just don't use my towel to get this stuff out of the way. Get that pepper out of the way too. Roll your lime like that, unless you have a little hand juicer thing. That'll start to break it up. It'll make it juice easier. Traditional Mexican guacamole doesn't have a ton of lime in it. These are pretty small, so we can probably go with I'm gonna say like 1.5 of these. We don't probably need the full second one. The lime is a little powerful, and the avocado is not. So we don't really want the avocado and the lime to get in a little fight there, and the lime to win. Get some of the dirt off here. Get some of the dirt off my hands. Once we have that lime in there, we're going to start mashing it up. We're going to use our fork to start with, kind of break it up. We don't want it to be like super, super mushy or anything, but that is also a preference thing. Some people like it more mushy. We're just going to go through and try and break it up into smaller chunks. If you have a potato masher would work great for this. Yeah, potato masher would work great for this. I'm just doing this with the fork, so for the people who don't have every utensil and gadget out there, I just want to show you that you can do this with just regular stuff. You can see that's pretty nice there. We don't mind the chunks. We're gonna put some other stuff in here too, but we like to get that lime mixed in there with it right away, so that there's no chance of the browning, the oxidization. All right, what should we go for next? Let's go for the tomato. A nice little wipe there. Tomato, take the end off there. We're going to cut it in half. We do not want all the water and the seeds and the what is called the rib there. So we'll give a little cut to get that, and we'll just use our hand or get it all out there. We definitely don't want all that water that's coming out in our guacamole. We don't want it to be all watery. The other one. There we go. And that's a basic rule of thumb, even with Italian cooking. You're making sauces and stuff. You don't want all those seeds and water. You guys are probably glad you don't have to do my laundry. This towel is going to be a disaster. All right. Once we've got it in these slices, we're going to cut it into strips. Slices into strips into dices. We're just cutting it the other way, making these small squares. That's called a dice if you're not familiar. Again, slice into sticks. Into a dice. There's a certain show that I watch where Anne Burrell teaches people how to cook, and she says the slices, sticks, dices thing constantly, so it sticks in your head. Slices, stick, dices, slices, stick, dices. I know, I'm nuts. Sorry, guys. So we're gonna just set that off to the side. We're gonna portion this as we're going. We're gonna see what it looks like how much, but we're gonna cut everything first. Let's get to let's go for the cilantro next. We'll go for the stuff that's not gonna make me cry next. Cilantro stems are fine. Just kind of bunch it all up at the end. Got some weird stem there, but just bunch it up, chop it. I love cilantro, so I'm gonna put a good amount in there. One more chop. Set him to the side. Put our knife through again just to make sure if there's any stems in there that they're pretty chopped up. Stems have a lot of flavor. It's unlike parsley, you don't really want a lot of stem, but with cilantro, the stem is just as flavorful as the leaves. So we're just gonna set that aside too. Get to our next ingredient. We'll do that. What shall we do next? Let's go for the jalapeno. It's not a ton of guacamole, so I'm gonna say for my preference, I only want like a sliver of this. If you cut along the side a little bit, you can avoid the ribs and seeds. The seeds and ribs have a lot of heat in them. Actually, the ribs themselves are like condensed part of the heat of the pepper. So we're gonna remove them. If you're doing it like me with your hands, don't touch your eyes afterwards. It'll hurt. It'll real hurt. It'll really hurt. I think that's probably enough for my spice liking. If you like it really spicy, you can use the whole thing. You can use the ribs and seeds. Traditionally in Mexican guacamole, they use a serrano pepper, which is hotter than a jalapeno, and they use the seeds and the seeds and the ribs and everything. So for me, I'm a little bit of a baby when it comes to spice. So we're gonna cut that. We've got our slice. Cut it into sticks. I like to cut it with the shiny side up so that you make sure you're getting through the skin. I have a nice sharp knife, but if your knife isn't super sharp and you cut it the other way, it'll end up not really cutting through. So we got a nice little, sorry, I don't know if you can really see that, but we're gonna cut them into real small pieces. I don't want any big chunks of jalapeno. I just want a little hint of heat that's in almost every bite. I'm really trying to keep my cutting board clean, but it looks pretty messy. A lot of green. We'll set this to the side right here. We'll put him to the side over here. And last, we're going to go with our onion. I also have a video of cutting onions if you're not real good at it. My trick is to leave the hairy end on, cut the other end off. That'll actually help clean my knife off a little bit. Set it flat, cut it in half. For this, we probably will only need about half of this onion. So take the top layer off. We'll take the full top layer off just to make sure that we've got the freshest part of the onion. You're going to cut strips almost to the end in about the size. We're going to say these are about a ½ inch. between each thing, and probably about an inch away from the end. I'm going to cut one little strip in sideways like that, and then we're going to go about the same half inch this way. And if you can see that, it gives us a pretty perfect dice there. There's a lot of different ways to do this. I found that this is kind of the simplest. There'll be other people who say cut a few ways this way and do all this, but I think you can see there we got a pretty nice dice. And that's pretty much it. Everything that's left now is just mixing stuff. So we got our guacamole. Take, I'm going to say a pretty good amount of those tomatoes. Like I said, this is all preference. If you like more tomatoes, less tomatoes, my advice would be start with less. You can always add more to it. Go for the onions. And our little handful of jalapenos. I'm being so sloppy. Use our knife to get some of this stuff up. I'm leaving some of this because we're going to taste it once we get started. I'm going to put a good handful of cilantro. We'll leave a little handful, kind of garnish the top with it. And then we're just going to mix all of that up. And we're actually going to kind of fold it in. We've already broken up the avocado pretty well. You can see that looks pretty. Look at that. Beautiful. Alright, oops, we didn't put the salt in. We do want to put a good healthy amount of salt. You can see it's about 2 pinches I'm going to put in there. And then I'm going to taste it. We could have put that salt in before, but well, give us a little extra arm work exercise. Avocado it's a healthy fat, but it does not have much salt content or citrus content. So that's one of the reasons that we're adding the salt and lime to it. Alright, that looks pretty nice there. We're going to give it a little taste. That's actually pretty perfect. I'm going to give it one more hit of salt, just a little bit. I'm going to give it a couple more onions too. That's the beauty of this is everything's raw. So you can add as you're going along if you feel like it needs a little more salt, a little more tomato. And this is also a good building block. You can add other stuff to it once you kind of get this down, you got the feel for it, like roasted corn, people put chopped garlic in it, some people put cumin in it, so there's a lot of variations. I'm going to give us another taste. Notice I didn't use the same spoon. That's perfect. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe, and if you have any great variations that you do to a guacamole, please let me know in the comments, and I hope to see you soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.